Hello there, guys, and welcome to Just So Rare. Hope you're all doing really well. In today's video, I want to share with you what I look for in identifying undervalued players on the system or on the platform of So Rare. Mehdi Taremi, for example, he was one of the first purchases I ever made on So Rare back in August 2020. The reason I bought him, I knew by looking up his stats that this guy was an absolute goal machine. He scored goals at every club he's been at. At the time of purchasing him, he just transferred from Rio Avenue in Portugal to Porto. He hadn't actually broken into the first team at that time, but I knew I thought it was a matter of time. And once he did break into the team, that he would score goals for fun like he has throughout his career, which thankfully he did. Now, there's a lot of reasons why his price was so cheap then, lack of users, etc. However, if you were to buy Taremi today, you're looking at about £1,300. So the ROI on that is mental. However, like I said, there are a lot of factors, not just his performance, why his price is so high. So I've just given you this as an example on what I would do to look for players because even back then he was one of the most undervalued players, in my opinion, on the Sorare platform. And I believe this video will show you another player who's potentially very, very undervalued. And that player, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname and make myself an idiot. I'm going to call this player Saba. Now, Saba plays in Turkey for Hatay Spor Kalabu, and I'll show you why I believe he's undervalued. Again, I'm using SofaScore, and obviously this would apply to any league that's So Rare cover. So all I'm interested in for the purpose of this video is their goals and assists. I'm not looking for forwards because forwards are very expensive on So Rare, as most users will know. So midfielders are the ones that I look for this example. Now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. As a midfielder, his goal and assist contribution of 13 is the fourth highest in Turkey. Basically, whatever the amount of games they've played, I will take that into consideration. If they've played 20 odd games, I'm looking for players, midfielders, of course, that are contributing goals or assists around double figure mark. So, you know, it's not far off a goal or assist every other game. So any midfielder listed on there that have got 10 or more, I would research thoroughly. I got a small sample of players from a bit of research I done last night, and as you can see, it's Turkey and Austria, and there's 7 players listed in total. Now, as you can see on the list, the only player that's got exactly the same goal and assist contribution is So Rare on a budget's favourite player at this moment in time, Stefan Nuts. Now, they've both got 13. However, as you will see, the 6 players or the 6 other players on this list, you will see, other than Nuts, all of them have contributed less than Saba. However, you will notice most of them are double his price. Now, I want to investigate why. So using So Rare data, as you can see, Saba's averages are not great compared to Stefan Nuts, for example. I think Stefan Nuts, he's averaging in his last 556. So that would be the reasoning I would say that Stefan Nuts is almost double his price. However, in my opinion, it's not justified, and here's why. I just want to make it clear. I'm not saying Stefan Nuts is overvalued or anything like that. I believe Saba is very, very undervalued given his goal and assist record. I've looked at Saba's history career history, whenever he's played, as you can see, he scores and assists at every club he's been at. And for me, those stats are very, very impressive. So you do your research on this, but I'm just showing you from what I can see. You know, this season, for example, 13 goal or assist contributions in 26 matches. For a midfielder, that's phenomenal, in my opinion. And in theory, because it's a goal or assist every other game, he should score a minimum of 60 points, providing he doesn't score an own goal or get sent off. As we all know, winning cards on Sorare is getting more difficult by the week. So if you're on a small budget and you can't afford to buy players who are consistently scoring 60 or 70 every game week, my advice, and again, just my opinion, these are the sort of players. As you can see, I own his common card, so I want to get that. If this isn't a punt, this is what I look for. If I had the funds now to buy his rare card, I would, because as I keep saying, he is massively undervalued compared to similar players of his ilk. I'm happy with Saba because, as you can see, he's played 26 games in which he started 19. So for me, although not a 100% regular starter, he starts more games than he doesn't. So I'm happy to go with that. And bearing in mind, for the cost or the price you're going to pay for him, obviously you need to take that into consideration too. And in my opinion, I think he's good value. Now, looking at his score graph on Sorare data, you can see obviously all the greens there is up in the games that he scored or assisted. Now, looking at his other scores, he's the sort of player that he doesn't suit the scoring matrix of Sorare. If he doesn't score or assist, he doesn't score very well. So obviously bear that in mind, especially if you're going to play him in your global team looking to win ETH or your ETH grinding team, whatever you want to call it. However, if you can get four players or similar players for that sort of price, if those four players on that one particular game week all scored or assist, it's going to give you a good chance of potentially not just winning ETH, but to potentially win a card as well. As I always say, steady eddies will win you the ETH. You're looking for players who've got a goal and an assist in them very often to have any chance of winning cards these days. Again, that's just my opinion. So, like I said, obviously, this is only based on a small sample, and you can do this on any league the Sorare cover on SofaScore. Look for players who score and assist frequently, especially in the weaker leagues. I say weaker leagues that are not as popular as like the Premier League, the Spanish League, etc., because this is where the value players lie. I've got no doubt about that. Do it in Russia, Mexico, MLS, wherever you want to do it. Try and keep away if you're playing on a small budget from the top 5 European leagues, because players, in my opinion, are overvalued when you look at players like this. There would be players in the European League who've got similar records to Saba in terms of goals and assists, who could potentially be 4, 5, 6 times higher in price. And it just doesn't justify it because people just want to, in my opinion, people want to own players that they've heard of or they know of. It's not the way to play the game, in my opinion. Not if you're looking for true value for money. Right, guys, I've said enough. Thanks very much for watching. And like I always say, your money, your investment, buy the players you want, as you've only got yourself to blame if it all goes tits up. No, but on a serious note, I'm just trying to give you some advice on what I would look for in trying to identify undervalued players. Hope you find this very useful, or some of you. And like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.